Tony and Lola were the kind of couple everyone admired. They were engaged to be married and had big dreams of building a happy future together. Lola was everything Tony's family could have wished for in a wife: hardworking, respectful, and beautiful. Tony, on the other hand, was a rising star in the Nigerian police force. At just 33 years old, he held the rank of Deputy Superintendent of Police, DSP, and was known for his intelligence, honesty, and dedication. His future looked bright, and their love story seemed perfect. The couple had planned to begin their wedding preparations as soon as Tony returned from Abuja, where he had traveled to take his promotional exam. If he passed, he would be promoted to Superintendent of Police, a huge achievement at his age. But fate had a different plan. Tony arrived in Abuja with high hopes, but shortly after the journey, he complained of a headache. His close friend Bayo reassured him, saying it was probably stress and that he would feel better after some rest. Tragically, Tony never woke up. He died mysteriously in his sleep that night. The news sent shockwaves through Tony's family, colleagues, and especially Lola. She was inconsolable, crying uncontrollably when she heard the news. She couldn't believe the man she loved, the man she was supposed to spend her life with, was gone. 9th of August became a day she lived to always remember for the rest of her life. There were many rumors about the cause of Tony's death. Some believed it was a spiritual attack from jealous colleagues vying for the same promotion. Others suggested he might have had undiagnosed health issues. Regardless, the loss was immense. Tony was given a grand burial by the police and his family received compensation, but no amount of ceremony or money could fill the void he left behind. Lola's grief was profound. She couldn't bring herself even to consider another relationship for 3 long years. Her love for Tony was so deep that she made it a tradition to visit his parents every August 9 to honor his memory. Tony's parents adored Lola and appreciated her unwavering devotion to their late son. They often comforted her, though they knew she was clinging to a past she could never change. On the 3rd anniversary of Tony's death, his parents sat Lola down and gently encouraged her to move on. "You've been so good to us, Lola," Tony's mother said, holding her hand. "But our son is gone, and he would want you to be happy." Their words touched Lola deeply, and for the first time, she considered opening her heart again. Few months later, Lola met Aziz, a kind and understanding man who loved her wholeheartedly. She was honest with him from the start, sharing the story of her love for Tony and the tragic way it ended. She also told him about her yearly visit to Tony's parents, a tradition that meant a lot to her. Aziz respected her honesty and had no issue with her visiting them. He believed in supporting his wife's happiness and saw no threat in her honoring the memory of a man who had once been her world. Lola and Aziz built a beautiful life together, complete with 2 wonderful children. Their home was filled with love and laughter, and everything seemed perfect until one particular August 9. That year, Lola's visit to Tony's parents' home took an unexpected turn. Aziz decided to accompany her for the first time, wanting to meet the family she spoke so fondly of. He also learned that Timothy, Tony's twin brother, had returned from abroad and would be there. Lola was excited to meet Timothy, as she had never seen him in person. When they arrived, Lola embraced Tony's parents warmly. They shared memories of Tony, laughing and crying together as they always did. Then Timothy walked in. The moment Lola saw him, her breath caught. The resemblance between Timothy and Tony was striking. From his face to his height, even his voice and mannerisms were identical to her late fiancés. It was as though Tony had walked back into the room. Overcome with emotion, Lola hugged Timothy tightly. It was as if all the memories and feelings she had buried came rushing back. She clung to him for what felt like forever, ignoring Aziz's gentle attempts to get her to let go. When Aziz finally raised his voice, telling her it was enough, Lola snapped. "You wouldn't understand," she said sharply. "Tony was my everything, and seeing his brother is like having him back." Her words cut Aziz deeply, but what she said next broke him. "If Tony hadn't died, I wouldn't have married you," she blurted out. Aziz stood there, stunned and humiliated, unable to believe what he was hearing. Lola refused to live with Aziz that evening, insisting on spending the night at Tony's parents' house. "You can go home if you want," she said coldly. "I'm staying here." Heartbroken, Aziz drove home alone, his mind racing with anger, hurt, and betrayal. When Lola returned the next evening, she showed no remorse. Instead, she announced that she needed to spend more time with Timothy as a way to bond with her memories of Tony. Aziz tried to reason with her, but she dismissed his concerns, claiming he was overreacting. Their once happy home became filled with tension. For days, they barely spoke and their children noticed the change. Aziz couldn't shake the feeling that something inappropriate might have happened between Lola and Timothy. The thought consumed him, and the lack of apology or acknowledgement from Lola only fueled his suspicions. After a week of silence and heartbreak, Aziz made a painful decision. He filed for divorce. Lola was stunned when she received the divorce papers, but she still refused to admit any wrongdoing. Aziz, however, knew he deserved better. He had loved and supported her, only to be repaid with disrespect and betrayal. Their marriage ended, leaving Lola to reflect on the choices she had made. She had let her past overshadow her present, and in doing so, she lost the man who had loved her despite her scars. Aziz moved on, determined to find happiness again, while Lola was left with the bitter realization that some wounds, if not healed, can ruin even the brightest future. Do you think Aziz went too far by filing for divorce? What do you think Lola should have done better?